We are here, we are back, and we are black. What can I say? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good day to you wherever you are. Ooh, wherever you are in the world, whether you're on Instagram, on One Two Radio, on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. You are listening to the Ade Show on One Two Radio, 12radio.com, where we are changing the way you dance with life and the way you create your reality. We welcome you to love. We welcome you to peace. We welcome you to a new reality. We want you to show up as you are. Bring all your mess and your message. If you really want to know wholeness, you got to bring it all. The part of you that you judge, the part of you that you don't like, the part of you that you hate, the part of you that you can't stand, the part of you that you want to celebrate, the part of you that you're kind of like, I don't know if I should really say anything about that. You got to bring it all to the table, or else you will feel like you don't belong. And when you bring it all to the table, some people would say, nah, that's just too much for me. Why would they do that? Why would you do that? Why did she do that? But, at least you will feel a sense of wholeness in yourself. So we welcome you fully and completely to this house of love. As always, John Stringer's brought us in. John Stringer, my dear brother, friend. Life is good. It's getting better. I am your host, Ade. I know that. You know that. So, hey, let's keep it moving. Kwali is in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm full of myself today. Like that's something new. Anyway, yes. Thank you for tuning in if you're listening live, online, replay, or on demand. Hey. That's what's cracking me up. You're missing out if you're not in Instagram, but it's okay. If you can make it there, do. If not, that's fine. Okay. You may be distracted by my shenanigans, so you might as well just stay and listen. Let me entertain your mind, not your eyes. Scott Weaver is our producer. Thank you, Scott, for being here today and producing the show. It is Transformational Tuesday, June 18th, 2019, and the time is 3 after the hour. The theme for today is endings and beginnings. Ending and new beginnings. Wait a minute, Pat. Do you have two usernames? Oh, I've been getting it mixed up. I'm talking to Pat on IG. I think she just switched on me. She tried to trick me. Endings and new beginnings. Clicking here and there. I want to invite you to join me in the chat room. If you don't know how to get to the chat room, go to 12radio.com. Number 1, number 2, radio.com. You do need a Facebook account. So when you get to 12radio.com, click top left, chat. There's a link. Chat link. There it is. That's it. I said it. Came out eventually. And as I said, you have to have a Facebook account. Click on that. If you don't, create one. If you don't want to create one, don't. Just keep listening. Okay? It's all good. And once you're in, it will bring you to a closed group, which is a Facebook closed group, which means that everything you post in the chat room will stay in the chat room. That's the idea anyway. So we ask you to be responsible for what you do share. And if you're trying to get to the chat room on your phone, your mobile devices, which is mostly the case anyway, when you get there, look for pinned post. And you click on pinned post, click on comments, and you see folks in there. I'm going to go there in a minute. Taking a sip of my ginger lemon tea. Pat is on the road again. And those of you in the chat room, thank you for being here. Danny in the corner. I see you. You can't hide from me. Jan, where have you been? I miss you. Ali Shea, Nice to see you. Renee, welcome, welcome, welcome. Raven is in the house. Everybody give can everybody pour a cup of coffee for Raven because she hasn't slept all night. Because she doesn't trust herself that if she goes to sleep, she'll wake up on time to listen to the show. Kai Greenway is in the house. 1-2 radio host and 1-2 listen advisor. So, yes. Thank you for being here. And silent listeners. It's ginger and lemon and ginger. Ginger and lemon. Well, yeah. I don't know how it's labeled, but ginger and lemon is in there. I'm just trying to see this. Oh, those of you who are not in the chat room, silent listeners. That's what it was. I was like, there's something else. There's something else. You've been doing this for 5 years. You got to know what it is. Got it. Those of you who are not in the chat room, silent listeners, thank you for being here. So, what's going on in your world? What's happening? What's popping? Share your story. Share where you are. Share the good, the bad. Yeah, that's what I said. So in the chat room, I'm being asked, what is the tea? Oh. You think you're slick. Oh, Quali, you think you're slick. You ain't. Yeah, it's the tea. The tea is ginger and lemon tea. That's the tea. Oh, that was good. That was good. Anyway, yeah, announcements. Check out my website, lifecoachade.com, lifecoachade.com for all my services, information about my new course that I started last night, and the GoFundMe is still active. So if you want to contribute to my adventure, to the deepening of my work, you're welcome. Whatever you can donate, I appreciate it. Lifecoachade.com. And if you can't donate financially, I know that I have your love. Donate your love. Donate a vision for transformation for humanity. Whatever you have, I am grateful. Lifecoachade.com. Check it out. And started last night. Well, last night was more of a was more of an intro. But it was good to see my fellow students, and the theme is endings and beginnings, endings and new beginnings, and I'll say more about that. I'll say more about that later because that's what the show is about. Okay, not my course, but what happens during the time when we're ending, when something is ending, when we're doing it consciously, and sometimes when life just said, "That's it, you're done." You are done. And so I just want to tell you as well, I gave birth recently. So I don't know if any of you, actually, she may not like me saying this, but she will understand. Kelly McLean and I gave birth to a baby. There's so many ways you can give birth. On a serious tip, there are many ways you can give birth. And everything that we experience in the physical realm is really a physical representation of what is in an invisible world. We're always giving birth to a child. He may come in the form of an idea. A child represents newness, a new beginning. It's the coming together of your heart and mind, of the masculine and the feminine. So in the human realm, we give birth. Oh, my sister's in the chat room. Hey, I'm shy now. Let me watch what I say. My sister's watching. She knows me. So the feminine and the masculine come together. And I'm not talking about male and female. I'm talking about the masculine energy and the feminine energy. The duality of oneness. When they come together. When maybe in the midst of, maybe you're taking a shower and you catch an idea and it just comes out of nowhere, out of the blue, and it excites you and you write it down, and then you feel like you want to move forward with it, That's what I would call the feminine. It just dropped. That egg of transformation just drops into your awareness, right? And then you want to move forward with the idea, so you get logical about it. Who should I talk to? How would I do it? And do I have enough money? And people going to want to be interested in this? All that logical analyzing thing that you're doing, that's the masculine coming together. Now, if you spiritualize it all and you trust the process, that the fact that you caught the idea means you have everything you need to birth the baby, to birth the idea, then life will do what life does. Life is always going to do what life does anyway. Life is going to do you whether you do it or not. But when you're ready for life to really do you and you say, I surrender, do me, baby, life will just look at you and smile and say, I've been waiting for this moment. Let me turn you out. And when life is turning you out, it's a vulnerable place to be, because you feel some stuff you've never felt before or things that you've been feeling and running from. Like, oh my God, but I can't let people know that I'm feeling joyful, or I'm nervous, or I feel vulnerable, or I'm afraid. We're pregnant with possibilities. That's right. So I gave birth, Kelly McLean. Yeah. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, that's her name. She's a 1-2 radio host. She's not hosting right now. And she's a 1-2 listening advisor. She designed my new logo for me. So some of you may have seen it. It's a crown. It's a bit bold, but damn it, I'm bold. It's a crown with hearts in it and the infinity sign. Those symbols were given to me. Now, I've wanted a logo for years. But what just happened? I don't know if I'm still connected. Something just happened in my sound. So, Scott, let me know if I'm still here, but I'm going to continue and see if I'm still live. But maybe it's my hearing that's changing. All right, so I take it y'all can still hear me. So I've been wanting a logo, but I could not have doodles, whatever they call it, whatever. That thing when you get pen and paper, just kind of seeing what comes about. Yeah, you guys can hear me on Instagram, but I'm not sure on 1-2 Radio. But if not, I'll get the notice soon. But I just never found something that represented my work, that represented me. And about a month ago, the symbol just came to me in during my meditation. Now, every idea is always fully clothed. When you have an idea, thank you. When you have the heck is going on? Shut up. This is my show. Don't be interrupting me. Somebody on the computer think they have something to say. Shut up. That's right. Shut up. And go deep down and tune into your truth. Okay, I'm back. So the ideas came to me, the symbols came to me, and every idea comes fully clothed. So sometimes we're praying and hoping and wishing, and this is all part of the show because we're talking about ending and beginning. This is not just me talking. This is me talking, and in the talking, there's more coming. So you gotta listen. You gotta catch what I'm dropping. I'm just saying. If you don't, you might miss it. And when I saw those, when the symbols were revealed to me, it was very clear that they were my doodles. Thank you very much, Raven. Thank you, Jan. You can hear me great. I think I know what happened then. So there are many places I can go to have it designed, but I wanted somebody who I feel knows me, gets me, and Spirit just said Kelly, because I produced Kelly's show before. 1-2 Radio. We communicate. We're both 1-2 Listen advisor. So anyway, I shared it with her, and we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Speaking of making a baby together. Woo! God help me. So anyway, I'm back on track. And so, actually, maybe I'll post it in the chat room. Let me post it in the chat for those of you who don't know where to go. Maybe if I see it, let me see. Right here. And so the idea came, I was very clear about that it's my logo. But I was a little bit, what's the word? Like, I can't use that as my logo. There's a voice in my head saying, who do you think you are? And my logo spoke back to me and said, you are that. Oh, what happened? Oh, there it is. You are that. So, most of you don't know. My name means, well, my full first name is Ademola. Don't you dare call me Ademola unless you're going to say it correctly. If you jack it up, yeah, I'm going to jack you up. So just call me Ade because people struggle with that already, right? So anyway, Ade or Ade, the right pronunciation actually, Ade means crown. The heart represent for me the infinite power of love. And the infinity symbol is the ancient wisdom, the divine wisdom, the wisdom from my ancestors that come through my crown chakra, that come through what we call in Nigeria, Yoruba, as Ori, which is your consciousness, your destiny. So it just makes sense. Now, I got to tell you, there's still a part of me that's growing into my own crown. Like, ooh. But I love it. I love the colors. It's just, it's so me. It makes me look good. I'm going to make a crown like that so I can wear it when I do my radio shows. Anyway, I'm done. Hello, my songbird. Nice to see you. You have DC Pinkers, but I can't remember what the D is for. I think it's, no, I know it, but anyway. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Eva. So I'm introducing my new baby to you. It's in the chat room. If you go to, is it on WhatsApp? Not WhatsApp. It's on WhatsApp, but it's not on Instagram, I don't think. No, right now I'm supporting Sudan. Google it. So I am in this process of newness. Some things are happening that feel kind of natural, that feel easy. Some things are making me feel a little bit vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, sometimes I want to just pull back and say, oh, gosh. But the choice to pull back is not even on the table. The thought may be there, but I know the options is to move forward. And which is a nice segue to what I'm about to say next, because I didn't even plan it. But Spirit knows what Spirit is doing. So we're talking about, okay. Let me drink some tea on that. Speaking about what's the tea. Okay, I'm going to say this because it's all part of the process. Everything I talk about is part of the process. You know that. It is important to be understanding and compassionate with ourselves and to understand that when we have an idea, when we want to move forward, when we want to do something different, or when we're just not even sure, but we're thinking about it, like maybe I can try something new or decide to do it, that the doing aspect of it would activate some things in you that you didn't even know existed. And sometimes you do know that it existed. Sometimes you just kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I've been kind of being afraid of. So what I'm about to share with you, I've shared it with other people and, well, one to house, Mark Husson, which will lead into what I'm trying to say, and everybody else at one to family. But now trying to tell you, I feel some kind of way. It's like, ooh, wait. This show is brought to you by Kleenex. This is the second to last show of mine on 1-2 Radio. I am moving forward. Not so much something different, more of an expanded vision. And so I'm leaving 1-2 Radio. I'm no longer producing. I'm no longer doing 1-2 Listen. So I don't want to look at the chat room right now. Well, actually, you don't know right now because it's in 1 minute and 30 seconds delay. So you don't even know yet, those of you listening on the radio. But those of you on Instagram are hearing it for the first time. Oh, I am a mess. So yes, it is time to bid my farewell. Now, I say I'm moving, I'm leaving. I am moving, I'm leaving. But what it means is, as I've expressed, it's like I'm just stepping out from underneath the umbrella of 1-2 House, 1-2 Radio, 1-2 Producing, 1-2 Listen. But I'm still here. I'm still going to be on social media. I'm still going to be doing the things that I'm doing. So I know that there's a process that we go through in our minds and how we think about it. Just like for me, right now announcing it, I just kind of felt something in my throat. I don't know what that was, but that's just the way life is. So it has been my show, the talk show, has been a little over 5 years since I've been doing it now. Yeah, it's time for a change. That's really it. It's time for a change. That's it. That is it. Ain't nothing wrong. Mark and I didn't have a fallout disagreement. Ain't nobody tripping about nothing. It's just what life does. So anyway, it's been a little over 5 years now, and it's been a journey. And endings and new beginnings. You may Sometimes the endings don't always feel like it's a new beginning. Sometimes the ending can be a little bit longer. It can be painful. It can be vulnerable. It can be all kind of stuff. And sometimes we don't even know what we're going to feel until we're feeling it. Now, the reason this is important to be grounded in your truth, whatever that is for you. Whether you believe in a higher power that's guiding you, whether you believe in a higher power within you that's nudging you, whatever you believe, it is important to pull on that when you're taking step into a new direction, when you are saying yes to the call of the vision for your life. Because when I made the decision, which is just a little bit probably about 3 weeks ago now. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. It's the 18th today. Yeah. I did feel like, whoa. I mean, it was two things. One, I felt like, am I really going to make this? Or how am I going to be? Who am I going to be? How am I going to show up? What is in store for me next? And then there was also a sense of an excitement, curiosity of what is possible, what's to come. And as I live into it and allow that to live out through me, this whole thing about embracing change. And those of you who have been listening to my show since this year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you'd know my journey. I won't go into that right now. Not because I don't want to, but I don't want to. I got other stuff to talk about. And I might talk about it. I don't know. I have been placed in a situation where I have no choice but to pay attention. And this is not just something that's happening to me, it's happening for all of us. Like life will constantly nudge us. It's always compassionate, but sometimes a little nudge, like, go on. Like a parent who is in school or go to some kind of game show or whatever, and for children, and they know their child knows the answer, and like they nudge them gently, raise your hands. And the child's like, no, like, go on, you know the answer. I don't want to. And like, go on, raise your hand. And you're like, no. And then then sometimes like a mother who hasn't, let me say this differently. A mother who gets excited, she gets excited and she nudges the child a little bit stronger than she needed to. Ow! And while the child is going, ow, the hands pop up. And the presenter or the host calls on the child like, oh, I didn't mean to raise my hand. Life would nudge you sometimes where you have to go, ow, why you do that? If you don't let go, you will get dragged. So I've had moments. I have moments where I let go, moments where I released consciously, willingly. There are moments where I let go, kind of, okay. And there are times where I just said, oh, no, 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 no. No, we ain't doing that. And life said, come on now. Nah, I ain't ready yet. And then I had my birthing experience where life said, okay, I'm done with your foolishness. I'm done with you making excuses. Life doesn't do that. Life doesn't see you making excuses. This is just a story that I'm telling so that we can get it. This is a human communication. Life doesn't say you've stayed there too long, you ain't doing enough. Life is neutral. Life is balanced. Life is God. Life is love. Life as you is constantly nudging you. And sometimes when it feels like a big nudge, It's because something in you is saying the time is now. You've gotten between the place where you're holding on, where your future and your past separating, and you're kind of like, I can't let go. I'm afraid. Well, how would I fit in? Would I belong if I'm true to myself? Those of you on Instagram can see me doing this movement, but those of you listening on radio can't. I got my fist side by side and pulling them separately. And after a while, life keeps pulling, your future keeps pulling you, and pain doesn't have any power anymore. Pain pushes onto vision pull, remember? And it keeps spreading, and after a while, there's a snap. Ah! Hopefully, you will be courageous enough to not get to the snap stage. But whether that is the case or not, life will always have your back. So, it's a new adventure for me. I'm still going to do my radio show. I am also relaunching Life Conversations Radio. Talking to people now to see how to go about that. I don't know when it's going to be up, but I'm not going to stress it. Yeah, I hear you, my sister. You know, that's the thing about telling our stories. Whatever we're feeling, whatever you're feeling, sometimes we think it's just us, it's just me going through it. But if we can find it in us, if we can find the courage to reveal it, to speak it, to share it, we recognize that other people are feeling the same thing. And that's the greatest gift we can give to one another. Because one of our greatest challenge, I know that's been for me what I'm about to say, is this whole thing about belonging. Where do I belong? We're looking for our tribe. We're looking for our community. We are the black sheep of the family. Nobody understands me. I often talk about, being different. And all that, I remember hearing one time when I talked about I like being different. And I was going through an experience, and I had just heard this voice inside of me said, "Well, being different is good until you're in a place where you're the only one that looks like you." I'm like, yeah, that's true. So the things that make us laugh can make us cry. The things that make us laugh can make us cry, and the things that make us cry can make us laugh. It's this dichotomy, right? The paradox of life. And if we can embrace both, if we can embrace what we judge, what we like, we bring ourselves to wholeness. So I was saying something, but I went somewhere else and I can't remember it. Maybe it will come back, but if it doesn't, so be it. But so yeah, I'm relaunching Life Conversations Radio and just allowing myself to surrender. Allowing myself to surrender to what's happening, to what's showing up. And I am in a place where, oh yeah, I know what I was saying. It's like, when you know that you've changed, that something happens and it changes you and changes your core, your essence. You find that you start to relate to yourself and others in a way that's different. And you may be able to recapture what happened in the past, but you're not there anymore. It's like remembering what it's like growing up. Or when you were a child, when you were 10 years old, when you were 15 years old, you remember it, but you can't really go there. You can go there in thought, but you can't be that person, that human being anymore that was 15 because you know too much. No matter how advanced science becomes, even if they can create something to push you back in that body, you know far more now than you did then. So you can't go back. And nothing in life goes back. Life is always in motion. Life is always moving forward. And the more we pay attention to it, the more we can surrender to it, the more we do our spiritual practice, our spiritual work, to really just be clear about what life is asking of us, for us, of us and for us. We all have a mission. Every one of us have a mission. We are here to do something. Let me slow down and see some of the chats. Um, Someone in the chat room on Instagram said it seems, Pat, that's you, right? Pat, is that you logging into different places? Because I thought it was you, but I'm thinking you. I'm just going to go with that. Just call house. I can't see the house something. Okay. It seems like I'm in a vacuum, except for you and much online friends. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand that. You said it feels like you're in a vacuum. Oh, I see. I think I get it. You say except for you and much online friends. So in your personal life, you feel like you're in a vacuum, but you feel like you're part of with your friends, right? Okay, got it. I understand that. That whole thing about looking for a tribe, looking for community, a place where we belong. Um, yes, we have to surrender to to our own unfolding. That's right. In order to become your next level, you have to let go of who you are now. That's right, Pat. That's it. So let me go into the chat room on Facebook. Thank you, everyone, for liking my, not liking it like Facebook like, for appreciate it. Alicia said about the logo, she said, so on target, the love and the connection to all and our divinity, synchronicity. We'll send you a message on FB in a few. Ooh, I'm looking forward to reading that. Yes. Alicia said, oh my, oh no, I need a minute to process. I need a minute to process you leaving One to Radio. I feel you, my sister. Jan said, congratulations, I will miss you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not under the umbrella. You're still going to see me. As far as I know. As far as I know, I'm still going to be posting. And actually, I need to tell you this. I'm still going to do my radio show every Tuesday, this same time, on Instagram and Facebook. Because I have to. I can't help it. I gotta let it out. I need this show just as much as you may need it. It's like it centers me. Raven said, still speechless. I feel you. Jackie said, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I love how Ade helps us see. Life loves me. Good God morning. Morning, everyone. I love how Ade helps us see. Life loves me. Life does love us. So when something that we've invested in, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, so it could be a relationship, romantic relationship, a friendship, it could be a geographic location. When change happens, if we can just remember that life loves me, when we are struggling with mastering a way of being, when we're struggling with trying to be more proactive, rather than procrastinate, if we remember that life loves me, life loves you, life loves us, it helps. You may not know it in that moment, but it is like having a headache. And if you've had a headache and you've taken painkillers, the minute you pop it in, you don't feel the effect. I mean, you sort of feel some of us do, some people do, some people don't. But you will know that, okay, now I've just taken a painkiller. It's just a matter of time before it kicks in. And when it kicks in, you don't even know. Very rarely do you go, okay, that's it, the painkiller kicked in, until maybe someone brings it up, or you just kind of notice that you don't have the pain anymore. But if you can keep reminding yourself, if this is the only affirmation you use for the rest of your life, life loves me, you are set. And it's not just about saying the affirmations. I mean, you can say it long enough, but when you practicalize, when you practicalize what you know intellectually, that's when growth and transformation happens. And knowing that life loves you, you get to create a different reality. You get to manifest what is for your highest best, what is for your good. I don't want to say anything you want, because we say that, and it rolls off our tongue. You can have whatever you want, and yes, you can, and no, you won't. Yeah, I like that. Yes, you can, and no, you won't. Because some of the things we think we want, we need, or desire, it's not even going to bring us the joy, the peace, the happiness that we think is going to bring us. But there is a divine intelligence within you, within us, that knows. Your spirit, your soul knows more. So you can wish for it and pray for it, but it's also important to check in and say, is this for my highest good? And you don't even have to overcomplicate it. You can pray for the thing, you can pray to have it, you can pray to receive it, and you can always end your prayer with this or something better. This or something better. In saying this or something better, you're releasing your prayer, your request to the mind of God, to your spirit, to your soul, to multiply what is totally, completely in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes we pray for things, and then when we get the things end up becoming more trouble than we even anticipated. And then it's like, oh, if I knew this is the kind of trouble I was gonna go through, I would not even have done this. I would not have signed the contract. I would, whatever it is. We don't always know based on our five senses. We don't always know what we need. We think we do. We think we do. And just because we think we do, then pray for what you want. Because thinking you know what you want is good enough to get you in line for your miracle, for your blessings. Donna said in the chat room, she said, well, Melissa said, going to miss you so much. Yeah, I'm going to... Stop it. Okay. I have to remind myself that I am not going anywhere. I am going somewhere, but I'm not going anywhere. It just won't be under the umbrella. I know that's kind of redundant. And I understand that. Because even as I read that, I felt something come up. So I'm moving on. But it is, life is life is life. We all must grow and expand and graduate and move on to college and go for our master's or PhD or whatever, start our own universities or whatever I'm talking metaphorically. Donna said, wishing you the very best. The only thing we can count on is change. Laugh out loud. Best to roll with it and follow your intuition. I know that's right. Roll with it. And then on Instagram, Pat said, there is something better. This is something better. There is something better Spirit has given us. Okay, so I'm going to just read what I get from it, okay? Spirit makes room and acts on our behalf. Yeah, there's always something better. And Spirit always acts and make room for us, for what you're desiring. Because there is a... How do I say this? What time is it? Okay, good. Even though we feel like we don't know, sometimes we feel like we don't know what we want. We don't know what we want to do with our lives. We don't know how it's going to unfold. And that is true. And yet, there is something in you, in me. There's a message. There's a map, a roadmap encoded in our soul, on our soul. It's there. And that would just lead you to it. That would just lead you to the thing that you can't think of intellectually. But if you listen to your heart, it will lead you because it knows the way. And not just your physical heart. It is your whole beingness, your consciousness, Your heart is your mind, your body, your spirit, everything. And it's not just you. It's the part of you. It is the connection that you have to your ancestors, the connection to angels and orishas, whatever you believe in, your connection to your higher self, to spirit guides, your connection to ancestors go way, 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 way back. You are a divine idea that God is birthing through. God is birthing itself through and as you. Just like a seed. Take an orange seed. If an orange seed would say, well, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel so alone. I feel like I have no purpose. I just don't know what I'm going to do with my life. And then a farmer comes along and puts that orange seed in the ground, nurture it. Nature does what nature needs to do. And one day, that orange seed becomes an orchard. You know the analogy of an acorn and an oak tree. Maybe the acorn never knew it could ever be an oak tree. Out of one seed, so much more is birthed. So we know on a deep level, and that's why it's important to have a spiritual practice, to listen to listen to that inner voice, to listen to guidance. And if you, I don't know why I keep repeating myself because I'm listening to something. If you review your life, if you go back and just think from as far back as you can remember, you will see some similarities. You will see some things that called for your attention. There's a way of being that your parents would have said to you. They'd say how you were when you were younger. Your parents, your siblings, or somebody, school friends. There's always somebody. So don't go to, well, I never had my biological mother, so I never know. That's fine. But there's always somebody there to reaffirm you, to affirm you, that you can trace your past and say, yes. For me, it was always, I wanted to help people. My mother wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. I just can't do the lawyer thing. I just cannot stand up. In my mind then, I couldn't represent somebody who I felt like did the crime. I just couldn't do it. But I can't even do being a lawyer at all. I just can't. Okay, calm down. You're not. But as a doctor, my mom was a nurse. She was a midwife. So I kind of thought, yeah, I can do that. And, she wanted me to be a doctor. And eventually, as life that to happen, the direction to being a doctor just kept changing. I took an exit. It's like, oh, I'm going off path. But in a way, I see myself as a doctor. I call myself a love doctor. I call myself a healer, spiritual healer. So I will say something about that in a minute. There are things I want to read in the chat room. So I'm going to say something about this healer thing. Because in different people that I come upon, that I meet in England or America, there's this thing about healer, you don't heal anybody, or, well, be careful with that word. And it's true. It's true. I do not heal anybody. Yet I call myself a spiritual healer, an intuitive healer. What I do is create space, just like the farmer will till the soil and do everything he needs to do, she needs to do, so that the seeds that she's planting has everything that they need to grow. So let me speak for myself. My work is to create the space, the energetic space, for you to come into yourself through my work. For you to look at the ugliest part of yourself and not be afraid. So, I digress. I come back. There's a cycle to life. It's all about endings and beginnings. It's constant. When you go to sleep, that's an ending. When you wake up, that's a beginning. Sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes you're ending the phase of being single to beginning a new phase of being in a relationship. And even that can be scary because now you got to be different. Not different to please the other person, even though we do that. But the same person who was single, that same mentality is not good enough to cultivate your relationship. So change is always happening. Change is always happening. Change is always happening. And when you say yes to the change, when you align with the change, when you surrender to the change, because there is really no safety in life. Maybe for a little while, for a little moment, but eventually you find that your safety is in your surrender. Because in your surrender, you're surrendering to something great. Somehow you just know to call somebody. Somehow you're led to a specific website. You're led to ask a question, and then as you keep finding information, you don't kind of like the information, you see that that's too much money. I'm not paying that amount for that service. And then another question pops up in your awareness, and you go back to a friend and say, oh, so what about this? And they say, well, let me ask somebody. And then they give you more information. And then you Google it. And then you find that you've got a service that will cost you $80, £50, £60, whatever it was. And then you get it less cheaper. Just a little bit of what happened what happened a few days ago. Actually, last week. What I'm saying is, you may not know the how, just know the what. All right, let me look in the chat room because time is doing what time does. Yes, you did. Quali said, Ade, you probably don't remember what I wished for you last year. I think it was, maybe it was last year. I was thinking maybe it was this year, but it may have been last year. So Quali said, you probably, I remember, and I'll tell you that I remember. So she said, Ade, you probably don't remember what I wished for you last year. Let me scroll down. I wish for your conscience to expand. And look, you are growing and showing out, my soul brother. Love you, Ade. I'll be here every week. I remember when you said it, you said something about me growing and expanding. I'm like, nope, don't need no more expansion. I'm done for a while. You're right. You're right. So thank you for holding the space. That's right, Pat. Your safety is in your surrender. Because when you outgrow a place and you think it's safe not to move, it is uncomfortable. And when you surrender, it can be uncomfortable, but it feels different. Something in you is whispering, yes, it's okay. Keep moving. Keep moving. I won't talk about that because I don't have the time to talk about it. Okay, let me read what's in the chat room here. I really want you to know that I love you. Thank you for being part of my journey. I have experienced love in the most profound way from you guys, from 1-2 family, people that I met. You know, I have met some people online through when my radio network was Live Conversations Radio, through other communities online, and we're friends up to this day. Over 10 years, we've never met each other. We may have done WhatsApp, video call, or see each other on Facebook Live, but we've never physically met. And there's some really deep relationships that has been developed and cultivated. And some of the friends I can just call, it's like, I need to hear your point of view here. I need to help me get clear. And some of my friends call me. It's like, okay, I'm moving through this. I just need somebody who can give me what I need. I don't need anybody joining with me or just help me see a different perspective. We are not disconnected. Though, let me say it this way. We're not disconnected, though there are things that can cause us to feel disconnected. So it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves. So thank you for your love. Donna said, embracing change. Yes, embracing change doesn't always come easy, but we have no choice but to embrace it. That's right. And if you think, I don't have a choice to embrace it, well, not saying you don't have a choice to embrace it is a choice to not embrace it. You always have a choice. I don't have a choice. That's a choice. The choice to say you don't have a choice is a choice. Because you can say, I don't have a choice, but I'm going to find one. That's a choice. Jackie, yeah, it's real. Leaving. but not going anywhere, but I'm leaving. Alicia said, my grandson Michael. Hey, Michael. Oh, Michael said he's going to miss. So, Michael, you listen to my show, and I've been cutting up and being. Okay, I'll have to be different. He said he's going to miss my jokes and laughter. I'm still going to be here. But, Michael, thank you for listening. Then Geraldine said, okay, I tuned in late, but by the comments, it sounds like Ade is going on a new adventure. Good for you. Congratulations, and we'll miss you. I know that's right. It's like, wait a minute. Let me research what's going on here. Scrolling up. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What time is it? Yep, about 4 minutes or so left. Looking in here. Yeah. I was saying this earlier. No, I wasn't saying this earlier, but I'm going to say this now. And I'm going to tie it into something I said earlier. Maybe or not. If we can allow ourselves to accept and believe that we have something to contribute to this planet, and we cultivate a conviction, a commitment to discovering what that is, and not just discovering what the gifts and talents are, not just that, but to say, I'm going to discover it and I'm going to share it with the world. That is the answer. That is the answer. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be bumpy. On a call yesterday in the new class, the sexological body work course that I'm doing, and I was looking at people. We're on Zoom. I was looking at people, and everybody. I mean, I knew 2 or 3 people, but the energy of the newness, I felt alone. I felt not alone. I felt like I didn't know where I fit into. Like, where do I fit? This is this are new people, really. This is new people that I'm going on a journey with. And where do I belong? And there was a sort of nervousness about that. And the thing is, I felt that before. I felt that before when I'm with people that I say are my tribe or my community. Personally, I believe that the feeling of fear, the feeling behind fear and love, it's the same thing. It's just how you're thinking about it. It's just how you're thinking about it. Because if you notice something happening in your life, right? And you think, oh my God, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. You get a sort of feeling. Like sometimes you may not call it a butterfly, but it's like this funny butterfly feeling in your stomach. And then when you're excited, it's how we interpret what is happening. And how we interpret it is how we interpret it. We're not to judge how we're interpreting it. We just become aware of how we interpret it. Am I scaring the mess out of myself? I said mess because Michael is listening. Am I scaring the mess out of myself, or am I allowing myself to receive the message? Oh, thank you, Michael, for letting me catch that. Am I scaring the mess out of myself, or am I releasing the message? It may be just as important to scare the mess out of you so you can receive the message. Because if there's a lot of mess inside of you, there's no room for something new. Let me stop. Donna said, we often miss what we thought we didn't want once it's gone. If we could learn to find joy in the present. You were so in alignment with me. I was thinking about that this morning. Take a chance now and then and not have huge expectation of the outcome. How much easier it would be for us. Yeah. And all of it is, for me, I would say all of it belongs. All of it. Like sometimes we don't allow ourselves to experience the present moment. Sometimes I'm so caught up in the past. But we all have a gift. And your gift is the answer to what is going on in the world. Don't get distracted. Pull yourself away from the BS. It's distraction. When people have to debate BS, why invest your energy in that? There's some things that grown folks are doing and other grown folks are talking about. Like, well, why would that happen? What? People's lives are at stake here. There's a lot going on in the world. People getting killed. So much is happening and we can't do it all. We're not to do it all. Just do your part and say yes to life. I am saying yes because it's time to go. Jen said, maybe we should ask Ade what brand of tea is he drinking. I don't know the brand, but it's lemon. 1 minute. It's time to get the flip out of here, to move out the way. I'll be back next week, the final show on 1-2 Radio, and I might do some guest appearances. So, okay, I might be back to just drop in. You may not know until you hear my voice. I want you to know that I love you and I stand with you and join with you, that whatever is calling you, that you can develop the courage to say yes to it. And even if you're vulnerable, you are not going to pimp yourself. You're not going to betray yourself. You're going to walk through it. No matter what people are saying, people are going to talk. They're either going to praise you or they're going to piss you off. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I thank God for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this moment with me. And I will see you next week, same place, same time. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Scott.